Welcome to the Ola Hawatmeh Show on American One. Today I have a special guest, freedom fighter all the way from Australia, numerologist. Stay tuned, up next. On the Ola Hawatmeh Show, I have Stanley all the way from Sydney, numerologist extraordinaire. So excited to have him on. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Ola, thank you for having me. I had a pleasant discussion with you a couple of days ago, and it's an honor to be on your show. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, what an amazing discussion we had. Now, tell me a little bit more about what you do, because I had no idea the depth of numerology and how spot on you are.
Well, yeah. So basically, I've created a 4-numbered sequence code. So when people look at numerology, generally they'll know their one number called their life path number. So what I've done is I've created this code, and then I help people understand synchronicity or deja vu or coincidence or the law of attraction, if you will, in its simplistic form with 9 numbers and understanding their sine wave. If you remember back in when we're in high school, we learn about wavelengths. So everything, Ola, is just wavelengths in the cosmos. And astrology is the umbrella. So astrologos is a Greek word. It's the stars speak to us, and they speak to us in people where people can understand their archetypes or their psychology. And I've simplified it to this 4-numbered code. And then once people understand it, they will start to get a bit of a feel for how they see things around them, not just in the human level, in the spiritual level, or in the ether, if you will. So that's how I guide people, both in the business, CEO, CFO, CTO level, but also spiritual seekers. And yeah, it's a working piece of art, if you will.
So when we did my numbers, obviously, I never give my birthday year, but it's funny because I had no idea putting numbers together and how much you can read from someone. And you're also, I mean, not only are you a numerologist, but you're a conservative one as well. Freedom fighter. I love it. All the way from Australia.
I am a freedom fighter, and I'm a big believer in because I've seen some of your videos as well, and in Western nations we all know a two-party system, but it's not really just a two-party system. It's how things go from the local level and then spread out, if you will. And it's the same thing with numerology or astrology. If you remember, I spoke about the macro to the micro.
Yes.
And what's happening now in America, like if you see, like in its simplistic, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK all have the same 3 colors in their flags: red, white, and blue. And what happens in America is very important, in my belief, across all of Earth. So I do share and follow a little bit politically, but I look at it as a bird's eye view, and that everyone is human and everyone makes mistakes in
Absolutely.
the political realm as well. And the key that I believe are people learning from their mistakes, and then are they doing things that they're doing for the betterment of humanity. That's what fundamentally it comes across to every human and at their soul level on Earth, in my belief. So
I like that.
I am a freedom fighter.
No, I absolutely like that. I enjoy meeting freedom fighters with depth, that aren't just, they look at something in just the surface, because there's so much depth in people, and you have to, anyone that runs, I mean, right now I have my own campaign that I'm running and working with different candidates. You have to be for the people, not the party. And it's a sacrifice I feel that we make, but we're up against, when you hear the word politics or politicians, your stomach cringes because it's looked at as in such a negative way. How do you feel numerology benefits people how do you feel it benefits them? I mean, I know that I learned a lot that day, and I went and told my friends about it.
Yeah, well, so basically, it's just a matter of fine-tuning your archetypes, your own psychology through numbers. So, you can create your calendar blueprint. So, for example, it's 1st of September here for me in Sydney, Australia. It's 31st for you still. But once people understand how their numbers relate, say for August or for September, they can begin to plan.
Yes,
And it doesn't have to be, because astrology is very complex, but it's a beautiful science. And there's so many different methodologies of astrology, whether it be from the Western or the Eastern mysticism and anything in between. But numbers are universal, and they break the language barrier. So when people um, start to understand how their code works and they start to get a feel for it, every human has free will, and they've got to use the wisdom for the betterment of themselves and then those around them. But, unfortunately, humans are always battling in a spiritual warfare, if you will, when they learn certain wisdom. Are they doing this because when people have an abundance mindset and they can be prosperous, and generally you collaborate with people that want to elevate, if just a small percentage of people on earth did this, the exponential effect for the betterment of humanity can be very fast. And politics do have a role, because it is for the people, by the people, fundamentally. And you just can't get rid of
absolutely.
politics altogether and then just allow people to do it as well, because you need structure and there
For
has to be a
sure.
certain level of systems. But it all comes down to, in my belief, the battle of light and dark, fundamentally.
Wow. Yes. Yes. The numbers 2 and 5, we talked about this. And I mean, it kind of opens up, a section of your brain that you don't really think of. I never thought of numbers that way, or why do I keep seeing the same number? And it just makes you look deeper into it. And I was checking out your stuff as well. I'm impressed. That's why I wanted you on, because what is one thing that you want viewers to take from this interview?
So basically, that, numerology and astrology is not a pseudoscience. It's actually metaphysics. And meta is a Greek word meaning after. So think of physics as 101. What numerology and astrology do, and the different methodologies, it's actually a higher level. And if you look at all people in the past, whether it be political, billionaires, scientists, I have them on my page. They presidents, prime ministers, they had their own personal astrologers. There's a saying: millionaires see psychics, billionaires seek astrologers. And however, what I do can both benefit the everyday person and the wealthy or the CEO, if you will, because people need to make decisions in real time. And we're at the cusp on Earth where discerning positive and negative is getting a little bit more clouded, if you will. It's
Yes.
getting smudgy because of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and even like ChatGPT. Like, people look at this and think, "Oh, this is good," but what people have to understand is that being accurate 100%? And if you
Yes.
go another 2 years, that goes 80%, then it goes 50. When you get to the next generation, the history is going to be distorted. So I'm a believer in old school as well. I mind map. I've been mind mapping for 11 years. And I'm also a believer that the creator gave us both hemispheres of the brain so we can
Yes.
fine tune and master our gift of being, say, linear mathematical, but at the same time emotional and artistic. And when you have a balanced brain, you're healthier by default. So people fundamentally will benefit, Ola, that they'll begin to understand their
Yes.
essence, soul, and purpose at their level, meaning they don't have to get influenced by their, say, family, friends around them, or their peers or teachers or their work colleagues. They can hear these people, but fundamentally, we have our own intuition. We have our own validation methods, and what I do is just one pillar of that, if you
Exactly.
will. Um,
I
and
love it.
I see patterns a lot. pattern recognition, synchronicity. You know, if like if you're driving, you see a car or a
I think
shirt,
a lot of, yes,
and you know, it's a uh, it's a tool, and
absolutely.
I love what I do, and I'm looking to get back into it again. So it's like a little, not a 9 months hibernation like a bear. It's been, say, more 12 months, but nonetheless, um, you know, Earth is, everyone's connected.
Absolutely.
Like if you
So
remember, I
getting
spoke.
back in, as you said, how can my viewers, how can people find you?
They can find me at my website, Zeneth, Zene, with an ETH, culture, culture.com. And you know, if they Google my name, the social media handles will pop up. They can watch prior videos that I've done. They can reach out to me on those social media handles, if you will, and I'll be starting some more videos again, up and running. And you know, I'm a public figure like you, but not as big as you. I'm not in the political realm, but nonetheless, they'll find me when they Google my name.
I love it. I love it. And we will put your website up there with the video. Such an honor. Thank you for coming on the show.
No, you're welcome, Ola. It's always good to meet, you know, freedom fighters, wisdom seekers, and those are really and hard workers. But also, you know, I believe humanity is at the cusp, and people, we need more people like you.
Thank
So
you.
keep up the good
The
work.
same right back at you.